salutations. Hey, I want to tell you a little story. Last week, we went up to Walmart, took my kids up to Walmart because we ran out of cereal. And I ran out of bullets. So we went to Walmart to get cereal and bullets. Next to the bananas, there was this pallet of half gallons of apple cider. Now, I want to preface my next statement by saying I was grown on a farm. I was grown on a farm like I'm a fruit. Anyway, I was brought up on a farm, and we grew produce. And the farm across the street, he was Fritz Schweitzer. He was a orchard farmer, and he mostly apples, but he had apples, pears, plums, peaches, the whole gamut. And he had a cider press right across the street from the house I grew in. There was a cider press, so I was brought up on farm pressed apple cider. I know what it's supposed to taste like. So, believe me when I tell you, that donkey piss that I bought at Walmart was not apple cider. And I was so looking forward to pouring me a glass of apple cider and just, like I did when I was a kid, just chugging that stuff down. It was so yummy. Anyway, my palate completely rejected that swill. My kids would drink it. Of course, they don't know any better. But yeah, that stuff that I had, that apple cider that I bought at Walmart here in southern Nevada that was shipped clear across the country from Pennsylvania, that wasn't apple cider. I don't know what it was. It looked like apple cider, but it certainly didn't taste like apple cider. And then it dawned on me there's a reason why. And it made me sad because forevermore I will never be able to buy from a farm or from a farmer the apple cider that I used to consume, because in 2003 the USDA, yay government, in their infinite wisdom and in their quest to protect us from ourselves, determined that it was in our best interest that we could no longer consume apple cider unless it was pasteurized. Pasteurization, if you don't know, you basically essentially boil the stuff, killing off the bacteria, the stuff that's actually good for you, and it kills the taste. It's a night and day difference. After Fritz sold his farm, of all places, to Walmart, he sold his property to Walmart. We started buying our cider from Asseltine's, which is right around the corner. And there was Hill's Farm, probably about 5 or 6 miles from our house. It was an orchard. He had a cider press, and so we started getting our cider from him. And it was like as soon as they started pasteurizing it, it totally changed the taste. So, it made me sad because that was. I love apple cider. It's like a demarcation of the changing of the seasons. Apple cider is part of that. So I thought, crap, I'm never gonna taste that again. It was something that I always looked forward to. I could make it myself. So I started looking online at different cider, homemade cider presses. It's not rocket science. It's pretty rudimentary. It's a rudimentary machine. It's a machine that uses leverage to squish fruit and squish the piss, squish the juice out of a fruit. It's a pretty simple machine actually. And so I started looking online, and I realized that, hey, I've almost got 90% of what I need to make a cider press. So over yonder there in the corner of my shop is my shop press. Well, it doesn't get very much use. It does get some use, but not much. But there's the squishing part of it, right? Put an apparatus in there to house the mash, and and then use the hydraulic part of that to squeeze the apples. Until I get around to building a dedicated cider press, that's what I'm going to do. So I kind of like the old school look of things, but I built this today. And this is the container that is going to house the they call them cheeses. They're the cloth wrapped mash. You take and you puree the apples into like a mash, and then you put that into cloth bags in a sense, or just wrapped in cloth. Put those in there, and then press this. The juice comes out of here into a tray, and you put it into a container, and then you drink it, or you can freeze it. You can freeze it indefinitely. So I don't know how much cider I'm going to make this year, but I'm going to make some because I want me some apple cider. I got a hankering for some apple cider, and I just whooped this together. It's just a steel band and some pine. I didn't buy oak because I live in southern Nevada, and it took two 1x6 select pine boards. They were $20 freaking a piece. $4 a board foot for pine, for goodness gracious. And I paid probably twice as much as I had to for the steel banding because I bought it at Lowe's or Home Depot. But this is what's going to house the apples, and I still got to make the squishing part, the part that the press is going to push down on, and I got to go get some cloth to put the apples in. I need to buy some apples, and I got a food processor, and I'll mash up the apples in the food processor. But you know, make a video on the making of apple cider, and maybe I'll go buy another half gallon of that swill and let my wife do a side-by-side taste test. Come along for the ride if you want.